Golfers Dean with golfallyear.com, and today's video is about shot trajectory, how high or how low you hit your shot. Now, I hit a very low shot, and I was on the course the other day. I played the round of my life. I was 3 over. I think that's my best round I've played. I was 3 over, shot a 75. On a tough, tight course, not a long course, but a tough, tight course. And what I found was that my trajectory, once I figured out that I should land the ball more on the front of the green and let it roll because of my trajectory, I was really on fire. My other guys in my group would landed with these high shots and landed on the green and it would stop. Mine would bounce up and roll closer. And so it kind of got frustrating for them. And I started to think about the Optishot. The Optishot allows you to set your trajectory from a really high shot to a really low shot. I think there's 5 settings. And you can do that right in Manage Players. You can change it there. Or when you get onto the course, you will see that on the right-hand side, there's 3 little arrows that you can set your trajectory. I usually set mine to the second lowest. But I wanted to find out what's the difference between the high and low? How does it affect the shot in the game? And so in the golf simulator. And so what I did was I hit a bunch of shots with my pitching wedge. I actually hit 10 with my pitching wedge set on the lowest setting and then 10 on the highest setting. Then I took my 5-iron and did the same thing. And I was surprised to find out what happened here. And you could kind of guess for the most part what was going to happen. I mean, it's not you don't have to be a rocket science to figure out that, you know, the lower shots, but I wanted to figure out the distance and what the different distances are in terms of hitting a low shot, what the ball flight looks like, and things like that. So I think if you understand that in Optishot, you can then adjust it on each shot, and you can figure out what kind of shot you want to hit. So it's kind of cool to do that. So I wanted to test it out and see what happens. So here's my little test on trajectory. All right, so this is the low trajectory shot. Let's see how high it actually goes and if it affects the distance at all. So very little wind here. So this is a shot that I will be hitting with a pitching wedge. All right, that's the lowest trajectory, as you can see down here, the lowest trajectory shot. Now we're going to switch it over and hit a high, the highest trajectory, and see if it changes anything. Let's check first the stats here real quick. We had average distance 119 yards and a pretty nice looking swing. The longest was 126, the shortest was 110. Okay, so now let's go the lowest or the highest trajectory. Here. See how it changes. All right, there you have it. I think that's about the average there was about 110, I would say. Let's see what it did to the averages. Moved it down to 116. I think the longest was 118 for the highest trajectory. So that kind of gives you an idea. It's about 10 yards difference. You could see that was extremely high. So those of you that hit a really high ball, maybe that's where you want to put it. I would probably maybe look in the middle of those two, obviously. I hit a low ball, so I would probably choose the second one, the lowest, not the, or the low trajectory, not the lowest trajectory. That's where I usually play. But that should give you an idea, about 10 yards with the pitching wedge. So now let's check out some other clubs. All right, now we have the 5-iron. Let's see how it does on the lowest trajectory, playing at about 160 yards from the pin. We'll see what happens. All right, let's check out the swing stats on that one. 165 average, really nice face angle and path. 174 was the longest, 160 was the shortest, a bunch at 160. So right at it, got some good roll out of it. Now let's check out what happens when we put the highest trajectory. All right, so there you have it. It looks like the highest trajectory actually produced the longest shots. Let's see. We got it out of 10 shots. It was 164 as opposed to 160. 184 was the longest. 144 was the shortest. Again, really nice club face angle and stuff. All right, so there you have the trajectory test with the 5-iron, and you see that it was about the same average, 165 to 164 in terms of the highest setting and the lowest setting. The only difference was really that the highest setting actually produced the longest shot, and the highest setting also will produce some backspin. You're actually getting backspin, so it'll land and spin back a little bit, while the lowest trajectory, it actually will roll out a little bit. Not as much as I thought it would. So overall, you can see with the pitching wedge, you're going to get, with the highest setting, you're going to get a little bit less distance than you would with the lowest setting. I found it about 10 yards shorter. But when you go to the higher clubs, you're going to get about the same distance. It's just what type of shot you want to actually hit. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel, doing videos like this all the time, testing things out, reviewing things. Hope to keep getting better at golf. I know I'm getting better. Hopefully you are too.